columnist Bruna Martinuzza says that it's easy to let circumstances and self-doubt sabotage your business. She says that everyone grapples with self-doubt once in a while, even successful business owners. Let's dig a little deeper. So what do you think? It prevents leaders from crossing the line between self-confidence and hubris. She says that, a little bit of self-doubt is normal, but highly successful people don't let self-doubt derail them from what they set out to accomplish. Number 1, avoid making excuses. Self-doubt often makes us rationalize a situation to fit our emotional state. We may be afraid to fail, or afraid to look bad, or afraid to take on more than we think we can handle. We become adept at making a lot of excuses for why an opportunity that presents itself isn't a good fit. According to this writer, the enemy is a chattering brain, which, if we give it so much as a nanosecond, it will start to produce excuses or alibis or transparent self-justifications and a million reasons why we can't, we shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't do this thing. Think back on opportunities you turned down. What reasons did you give yourself? So, were these legitimate reasons or just excuses? Excuses are mental barriers that we erect that hold us back. The author says to check out a book it's called Do the Work, Overcome the Resistance and Get Out of Your Own Way. Check out that book by Stephen Pressfield. That will give you even more insight into this particular topic. Number 2, beware of your close circle. There's a popular saying that we are the average of the 5 people that we spend most of our time with. While there is no scientific study to support this notion, according to this writer, there's a kernel of truth in the statement. Those we habitually spend time with can have a profound effect on us. The author says, we know from brain plasticity research that experiences reorganize our neural pathways in our brain. According to Dr. John Konis, professor of psychology and brain science at Drexel University, our neural connections change even after a 20-minute conversation. So imagine, who do you spend the most time with? What effect do they have on you? When you spend time with them, do you walk away feeling better about yourself or worse? Food for thought, huh? Let's see what else. Number 3, raise your self-awareness. Self-awareness is one of the most powerful personal development tools in your arsenal. Make use of it by understanding the root causes of your self-doubt. What specific situations trigger bouts of self-doubt? Fear is derived from a lack of something. If it's a lack of a skill in an area, resolve to do something about it. For example, it may be a fear of delivering a presentation, or it may be anxiety at having to make cold calls. Just about anything can be learned. Go out there and get the training you need. Number 4, practice self-compassion. While it's easy to extend compassion to others, very few people are able to temper their self-criticism with self-compassion. Self-compassion is simply being kind to oneself. Studies show that there is a strong correlation between self-compassion and positive mental health. Reduced anxiety and greater life satisfaction, as well as higher self-esteem and self-compassion, develops emotional resilience. Dr. Christian Neff of the University of Texas in Austin advises there's a 3-step process. She says to first notice your own suffering, especially when it's caused by your self-judgment or self-criticism. Don't be cold-hearted toward yourself, and remember that imperfection is part of our shared human experience. Wow. Remember that imperfection is part of our shared human experience. Let that soak in. Number 5, stop asking for validation. Seeking others' input and advice is helpful. However, if you are in the habit of continuously asking others what they think before making decisions on important matters, you might be weakening your faith in yourself. For example, if you're working on a presentation or setting up a website or undertaking a new project, and you continue to change what you have created based on feedback, you might end up losing your voice, and the end product becomes a diluted version of you. Take some advice, but at some point, make a decision on what feels right to you. Number 6, don't talk about your plans. Talking about a project that you're working on is bad luck, according to this writer. According to Pressfield, he's not the first person who advises us to keep our mouths shut about impeding goals. Derek Silvers, a professional musician and entrepreneur, popularized this notion in his TED Talk. Keep your goals to yourself. During his TED Talk, Silvers shows psychology studies have proven that when we tell someone our goal and they acknowledge it, we are less likely to do the work that is necessary to accomplish the goal. This is because our brain mistakes the talking for the doing. In other words, the gratification that we receive from the social acknowledgement tricks our brain into feeling that the goal has already been completed. So, the satisfaction that we experience in the telling removes the motivation to do whatever it takes to actually make it happen. So, shh. Number 7, trust your values. In Disrupt, Think Epic, Be Epic, author Bill Jensen outlines the 25 successful habits of 100 contemporary heroes, people who found ways to cut through the complexities of today's fast-paced, ever-changing environment to do extraordinary things. The author says that the trait that drives the majority of the best practices for these 100 entrepreneurs is trusting their guts and their values. More and more, we are called upon to make quick decisions with very little information. When we know what we stand for and what is important to us, it becomes easier to make these decisions. And they are aligned with our values and what matters to us. One of the many practical tips that Jensen provides is to find 2 mentors. One twice your age and one half your age. One will share the wisdom of experience. The other will take you on an unknown path. Drawing from these wells will strengthen your trust in your ability to pursue your goals. So as we wrap it up, they said there's one voice that is tirelessly pushing every budding entrepreneur to stop stalling and go make something happen. And that's the voice of Seth Godin, an American entrepreneur and author. Anyone who follows Seth knows that one of his most insistent messages is to start shipping. If you're an artist holding back from exhibiting your work because you don't feel it's good, Ship the stuff out. Get started. What ideas are buried between your distrust in yourself, or perhaps you want to start a healthy fast food truck business in your city, or you have an idea for developing something, or perhaps you're mulling over starting a home-based business to create the old-fashioned candy that your grandmother used to make, or a daycare business, or whatever it is. Self-doubt is mental paralysis. The only cure for it is having the guts to get started.